I wanted to talk just a little bit about some different things you can do coloring in Photoshop. If you've watched any of my other videos on flatting, you know that that is a method that I really like, and flat method that is used quite a lot in comic book artwork, which uses a lot of inks like we have here. So I scanned this image into my computer and I made sure everything was solid black or white using the threshold tool, and from there I put a flat color on each part of the little character. And what that really allows you to do is, using the magic wand tool, you can select just those parts that you want to be working on. So maybe the outside coat of the chinchilla we have here, or maybe the inside coat, or the inner ear, the blue hat, the red feather, whatever you want to do, and the little scroll thing here. So what it allows you to do is, when you coloring, you can choose your color, and then you can get your paintbrush out, and then because it is the only part that is selected, even if you make big strokes all over the page, it'll only color within that one small area. And to do that, I lock up the flats once I've completed it, and then I go into the coloring area. So this is what the flats look like without any of the inks or anything. So each part is, as it is suggested, very flat, which allows you to have the magic wand tool selecting only what you want. And then the inks overlay that. Now over the flats, that's where you can start with your coloring. So without the inks, the coloring looks something like this, with the inks over top. So if I want to just color on his inside coat, I go to the flats, I get the magic wand, and I select it. I go to the coloring, and then I can just color in this area as I want and not have to worry about overlapping over. Now, that's really helpful and handy when you are coloring, but there's another thing that's very helpful. Suppose you don't really prefer the color of the hat. You go to the flat layer, magic wand that hat, and then you go to the color layer, and you go to the adjustments for hue and saturation. And because you have selected only that part, you can change the color of the hat. Maybe a gold hat is what you want. Same with the saturation or the lightness. So that's a very helpful tool when you are trying to decide what color you're looking for. So let's take, for example, his coat. So we'll do his outer coat, then I'll hold down Shift and click on his inner coat, so we'll have the whole thing. And then we'll go to the coloring layer, and we will mess around and see if we can find anything that looks slightly better than this. So green doesn't look good, probably not a dark blue, maybe a pink. Maybe this purple, if it's lightened up a bit, might look okay. It's not terrible. But suppose you just wanted black and white. Well, you just bring down the saturation. And there you go. You can have a darker or lighter image here. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Let's lighten that up just a little bit. All right. All right. And that's how you can get rid of any of the colors. So if you wanted to have it more black and white, that's how you do that. I do have a layer for highlights, which just adds a few extra touches, which makes it look a little extra nice. And the same thing applies to that. You can change those colors based on what you do with the flat layer. I think it's a cool little trick, and that's why I really appreciate using the flat layers as opposed to just cutting out every part and having a layer for, you know, the right arm, the left arm, the tail, the feet. I prefer the flatting for that. So I hope you had a interesting time watching this. I hope you take some of these tips and tricks with you into your own artwork, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.